I'm Grandmaster Torok, Kembo system.
I'm James Compass.
This is going to be another one of our training videos. I don't claim any originality. Someone somewhere down the line has done everything, but these are things that I've come to like in our training. So take it with a grain of salt, if you will. We're going to talk about blocking today. Okay, in my taxonomy, there are 5 levels of blocking, each one more efficient, or rather better, but harder to do. You could have as many levels as you want, but after that, pretty soon they all take one form or another from these levels. The first level is going to be an absorb block. You just take the shot, so you don't have to do anything. Okay, so let's say this guy's throwing a big old shot at you this way. Hit hard now, right? Go. Go. Okay, hit again. See, I absorb the shot, and I can come back with a shot. And that's great if you're a big, tough guy, but if this guy's tougher than you, that absorb might actually hurt you or knock you down. You aren't going to be able to come back. So there's a difficulty there. Plus, you have to assume it's coming at you. And it is natural always to try to get out of the way of all strikes. It's, bees coming at you, whatever. That's generally, we work that into what we want to do. Okay. The second level would be a lot of the traditional karate strikes, which is a strike against the strike. Okay, so let's say that, and we're going to go easy here now, okay, but say Jimmy throws this punch, okay, and bam, I want to break his arm, man. I want to hit that arm and hurt it so he doesn't hit me again. So we use a lot of contact, strike against the strike. Again, if this guy is bigger and stronger than you, then you might get hurt more than the other guy. Just like you see that YouTube video, the guy picks his leg up to block a kick and he puts his foot down and his leg collapses in half. Bone busted. Okay? The other problem with these is that aside from expending a lot of energy, there's too much motion. A good block should be very efficient. Very little motion until you actually deliver a counter strike, and it should be fairly easy to do. So you notice there's a preparation stage to get the muscles ready. There's a strike, which means there's a stop, there's a retraction, and so on. So while it's easy to do, it takes a lot of training and not very efficient. The third level would be sort of a deflection block category where you don't expend a lot of energy, and of course you count on the fact that you got out of the way. Okay? So let's say this guy's punching at you. Okay? I'll use a tuxao. You notice how his punch goes to the side and I can hit him then almost immediately. Okay? Or fuxao, the guy punches you. There's my fuxao, there's my counter, and so forth. So they use bongxao a lot for this. Okay, that's wonderful, but again, you've got this problem that you're making too much contact and that may throw you off, and the other guy is bigger and stronger than you. Plus, you have one motion and then you have to follow through, retract, and do a second motion in most cases. So again, it's a good idea. You don't get hurt, you get out of the way, you deflect, but it has its limits. The fourth level of blocking is a simultaneous block and strike, and that's wonderful. The guy punches you, boom. Okay, I blocked and I hit the guy at the same time, and then I can do my stuff. Okay. Well, the problem with that is you almost have to expect the shot coming to get away with that. Plus, your brain can't handle 2 things at one time. So, what's stronger, the block or the punch? Which one are you putting your emphasis on? So, it's a psychological limit here as well as a physical limit of motion. Okay. And the 5th level is preemptive. You sense that this guy is going to throw something, and you stop it before it happens. So he's getting ready to throw a punch, and I check his shoulder. Okay, that's cool, but you really got to know what you're doing here and be reading it well. And if you do like some of these videos where you beat the crap out of somebody just because they push you around, well, you're going to have a lawsuit too. Because in theory, if I hit him first, I just block his attack. So preemptive blocking is good sometimes, but it's tough to call. Now, all these blocks have a place in terms of where you apply them and the range that you apply them from. So to get the main point, I like a really nice deflection block where you're using a lot of flow, you never stop, and your body rotates and delivers a strike. Okay, so if you just stick your hand out, Jimmy, just to show you the idea here. Okay, whether your hands are down or they're in a fighting stance, doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but let's just assume that we're in a fighting stance here. Okay. So this punch is coming at me. Okay, so there's my deflection. Notice that also pushes my head out of the way. And there's my delivery, which also moves my head back, and I have a lot of reach here. Okay? So when the punch comes, boom. So what you have to do, though, is you can't do this. You can't punch this. You can't block and then come back, because you might still be there, okay? So what you have to do is you have to literally rotate and deflect. Use your hip, and then you can come in with whatever strike you want. Okay? Now the nice thing here is you can also use it as sort of a soft self-defense. The guy might be pushing or something. So if the guy punches or whatever, I can use that as a checking action down the center line, okay? Which is good. I should mention that a lot of the other blocks open your center line. So if he punches me, and if I do a hard block, I just open my center line. Okay? And this one particularly is bad because you're wide open. Okay? So had he punched with the other hand, notice I come through and I block there. So the idea is it's not as simultaneous, but you close the center line as a constant flow of motion until you deliver the strike. You could also go here, check, deliver, and come back this way. And same thing for low strikes, okay? So from this position, it's not 1, 2, punch again, please. It's 1, 2. So use your body rotation, gets you out of the way. It's a simple deflect and counter attack. And that makes a lot of sense, and you can use it against most strikes coming at you. You could even use it against a kick and so on and so forth. So it's really kind of part of number 3 level, being that it's a deflection. It's sort of followed immediately by strike, so it tries to approach where the number 4 does, but it's very easy to do. It's almost intuitive if you do it. So we don't stay in this groove here and start doing this kind of stuff. When an attack comes, we float. Now notice I flowed the outside. Now watch the flow on this. Okay, so I'll go slower. 1, 2, 3. But you've got to have that rotation. You have the extension. You're out of the way. Okay, so that's my idea of blocking. Other people probably do similar things, but I don't see this flow blocking a whole lot. Thank you. Thank you, James.